Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap and I'm a watchmaker from the Netherlands. It is a pre-recorded session. If you see this, the Tuesday the 27th of June, I will be attending a concert with my daughter. Blur is playing here in the Netherlands. If you see this clip on another moment, my dad's health is then really deteriorating. Final stage. So yeah, pre-recorded session. If I cannot make it live, sorry about that, but a pre-recorded session. So you don't miss any live watchmaking, because it is live. I never do any work up front. Don't know what to expect. It is really early before the workshop opens. So today the solid gold Omega Geneva. What can we expect? Beautiful movement. And let's see what's wrong with it. Let me see. Solid gold case. That is not a dent over here. That's just a hallmark. And let's have a closer look. That is the camera. And you're watching with me through my microscope to the watch I'm working on. There we are, so we know the date. Omega always have a small, well, and a very nice way of doing. This is the serial number, and the first two digits, let me see, corresponds with a production date. And then we go back to the wobbly cam and let's have a look. There. It starts with 25. 25, that means 1967. Sergeant Pepper. There we go. So 1967 Omega, and here the case back, 14 karat gold, some watchmaker marks. Wow. Let's have a look at the movement. Back to the other camera, and first visual inspection. What do we see? 1967. There's a regulator, fine regulator for the timing. The sweep second pinion is driven by this wheel. And just with a puffer, let's see what the balance wheel is doing. Hey. It seems maybe they are old fingerprints, or it's just lubrication. Not sure yet. Well, we see in a moment. With a puff. I thought it was just a tiny bit of sticking of the balance wheel. And there you can see the escape wheel wasn't moving. We are not the first to enter, but hey. And there you can see the screw head. It is during the fastening that they left some marks on the screw head, and this is just simply too small of a screwdriver. Very unnecessary. We try to polish the screw heads to make it back into perfection. What's this? Okay. Well, at least we know the previous watchmaker was wearing a blue jumper. And there is some old lubrication. Look at that. And that's why we wear a white coat, watchmakers. Well, because it's clean, and if small parts try to join the Swiss space program, you can find it on your coat. But it's a dust coat, so it leaves the fibers of your clothing on the inside and not as you just saw in the movement. Here we see that the movement comes out of the front, because this small clip is preventing the movement from going down the dial side. So we have to remove the crystal for the movement to be taken out of the case. Well, no power in the mainspring, and then simply with a piece of packwood. Where is it? Yeah, it is. There we are. Do you see? We already know that there is a lot of play here in the main barrel. You simply see that. Well, I can already remove the ratchet wheel, well, and have a look. Just loosen the screw, gently lift it. There's no power on the mainspring, so no force involved. I use my titanium tweezer. Well, it's hardened steel, so won't make any scratches anyway. And then here, this bearing is way too much play. If you're interested in how to resolve problems like these, please have a look at our YouTube channel Chronoglide in hammer time. That is reducing the hole size. That is way too much. And another fiber. What will we find? Just a bit of Rodico. That shouldn't be inside a watch movement. Well, I don't need the winding stem to release the power of the mainspring because it's already gone. It's a push down setting lever, and there we are. Well, there is some lubrication, there should be some lubrication, but it's not a dipstick like previous watches when it was just horrible, the amount of lubrication in there. Now, first things first, remove that one, and then turn it around, remove the crystal, Well, I'm not able to welcome all of you viewers. It's a pre-recorded session. Again, if you view this Tuesday the 27th of June, I'll be with my daughter at a Blur concert here in the Netherlands. We're both fans. If you view this on another date, my dad's health is really deteriorating. Final phase. So I needed to do some pre-recorded sessions if I cannot make it live, and I am sorry about that, because I really enjoy the interaction and the questions, and all of you regular viewers, of course. Well, crystal, just a click system, easy. Because the two retaining clips are gone, I think it would be the easiest if we just no stress. There's the movement. Well, it's a beautiful straight grain dial. Slight marks on the hands, but it's, please remember, we're looking through a microscope. Just a lovely dial. So well balanced, lovely stuff. Well, simply remove the hands. I use a bit of foil, not actually touching the dial, not actually touching the hands. They cannot move upwards. I think this is the safest way, and for me it allows me just the right, you really feel the pressure and the force you're applying. Now, no need to grip the hands, simply push that in. There we go, hands are safe. Absolutely no marks whatsoever on the dial. That would be such a shame. Now, remove the dial. There we have the retaining screws, dial feed screws. Usually with a pointy tip to retain the copper dial feet. There they are. And then there's the other one. original. There we are. And now with no pressure whatsoever, there's the dial. Dial number, dial feet, and maybe we can even see the imprint, there we are, of the dial feet screw. Remember the pointy tip? That is where it's being retained. Common mistake. Vintage Omega watches don't have the small spring in here because it is pushing down the hour wheel, but with the vintage Omega construction there is no space for the hour wheel to go up and down, so no need for that tiny spring. And here well, I think we found why this watch isn't running too well. It is an insane amount of play. It is the cannon pinion. There we are. And that's being removed. I love to use this tool. It's not the official tool for removing the cannon pinion, but I just love the grip. You can see the tip is moving, but you don't use it anyway. And there is a lever motion without leaving any marks. I find it the safest way to remove the cannon pinion, but that's just me. Whatever gives you the best result is per definition for you the best tool. While we're at it, why not remove the setting lever spring, yoke and yoke spring. While we're at it, why not? Doing a pre-recorded session like this really, well, makes it abundantly clear that the interaction with you is such an added value of live watchmaking. We've been doing this for 6 years now, and at least once a week, every Tuesday, 8:30 Amsterdam time. But for a long time, did it at least twice a week. And hopefully showing the hopefully next generation of watchmakers what a beautiful profession it is. And for and for collectors, that the most beautiful part of the watch is the inside. There is again a fiber, but there's a lot of lubrication there. It is in need of a good clean, but first things first, the yoke spring that is under high tension, and you've seen the streams with we did with Patek Philippe, the beautiful Vacheron Constantin. If you look at this, it is just like a piece of cut barbed wire, this spring. It's functional, it's nothing wrong with it, but there is the distinction with haute horology and just these beautiful vintage watches. Again, nothing wrong with it. Fiddly job, and there are not many watchmakers who do this under a microscope with a camera with a lot of people watching. I use the indentation of here to go underneath. I got a lovely bendy, where is it? I need my oiler. Well, not bendy then. That's on the other bench. I just go underneath. And while I pry this spring up, I push this one down, is the theory. There we go. Oopsa. There we are. Well, in my world, this is a really high strength spring. Look at this. A lot of force on the yoke. Oh, there is a lot of oil and even the sliding pinion and winding pinion are stuck together. Well, now the other side. Be very careful, because there you can see the sweep second pinion is really sticking out. It's so delicate, it can break, it will break. So put it like this. Don't take any chances. Oh, sorry about that. I just put it on there. And first things first, remove the balance wheel. You can see the circular graining. There is the tension spring for the sweep second pinion. And again, that is a lot of wear. We're not the first to enter this screw. Maybe you can make it a tiny bit better. And a well fitting screwdriver. There's really no need to leave any marks. Usually a carbon tip tweezer, but now my titanium, just to lift it up, because carbon is a bit thicker. Now I grip it with that carbon tip tweezers not to leave any marks. Well, it's looking good. There we are. Ah, there. It is sticking. Usually we say it might be magnetism, but do you see the drops here? That is definitely old lubrication. You see the small marks on the windings. I'm convinced this is old sticky lubrication. We demagnetize it anyway, so if it's magnetism, we'll find it, but I don't think so. Wow. Pallet fork. Oh, this is the Omega Geneva, but do you have any preferences of Omega models? There are so many different types. Obviously Seamaster, Speedmaster, Constellation. I kinda like the Railmaster. Here in the Netherlands, Railmaster never really took off. It's a beautiful design, especially with the broad arrow hand. Coffee because it's really early. Again, pre-recorded session, sorry about that. Couldn't make it whenever you see this. Either because of the Blur concert the 27th of June or my dad's health, well, being in the terminal phase. I must confess that my dad's health situation really well made it clear that it's so hard to concentrate when you are not fully able to clear your head, and that is one of the downsides of being a watchmaker. It is the best profession in the world, but it is so creative. You really have to think with every step you take, and it's physical as well. You cannot be trembling. Well, first things first, I would like, remember the huge, well, in my world, huge, their central pinion for the sweep second. I like to remove that first. It's so delicate, it's way too long, it's hardened steel, so I like to remove that immediately. That is a really, well, there we go, yeah. There we are. This is the retaining cock. Is there? Yeah, oh no, oh no. There you can see, hopefully you can see that all the lubrication crept underneath. Now, here is the, again, fibers. Oh no, why? There is the small spring that is pushing a tiny bit of tension against this huge sweep second pinion. What are those yellow stains? Is it oil? I think the previous watchmaker was sitting with a cat on his lap. in his Christmas jumper, smoking a pipe. Well, first I would like to remove this sweep second pinion. It is, again, a huge fiber there. It is so long, you really have to take it out vertically. There we go. No strain, but it is so delicate and small. Well, next stop is the decision if we do the bridge for the main barrel or first we do the gear train. And you can see this center wheel is going over this plate. So first I'm going to do the gear train. Otherwise, if I like to remove this huge bridge, it is a bridge if it's got screws on either side, and it's a cock just like the balance wheel with just one screw. If I want to remove this plate, I almost have to deform this third wheel, escape wheel, seconde rad, fourth wheel, third wheel, derde rad, and center wheel. So first I'm going to remove that bridge, then remove the wheels, and then I can remove this one with the center wheel. Sounds like a plan. Wow. What is your favorite Omega model? Like I just said, I never understood why the Railmaster wasn't a bigger success. Or was there a model closely related to it? I'm not sure. There we are. Gently lift it. Then carbon underneath. It's so sticky. You can see the old lubrication on the jewels. Oh, here. Pivots seem okay. Let's have a look at the escape wheel pivots. Let's have a close look here on the inside of the jewels. You can see the glistening of lubrication, but you can see old dried up lubrication as well. Do you see that? And yellow stains of oil where it shouldn't be, dried up oil. So I think we can safely say that this watch didn't have any maintenance for quite some time. And then, well, let's call it a less experienced watchmaker. Let's be nice. Placed some new oil without the old being removed. I'm quite sure of that, because there you can see new glistening oil on top of really dried old lubrication. Well, And there we are. And especially in horology, the tolerances are so small of the pivot in a jewel. You do have to disassemble a watch, then clean it. And cleaning simply is rinse it in a cleaning machine to dissolve all old lubrication and grease and oil. Simple as that. And then during assembly you take care of all the play, like we see here. And that is simply hammer time, reducing a hole size without removing material. Because with all this wear and tear, well, it's from 1967, Summer of Love, and there's so much wear and tear. Even if you just disassemble it, clean it, assemble it, the problems will still be there. You have to address the problems. Well, usually these screws are counterclockwise, but now because they're not centralized, they're the usual screws. There we go. And there will be a bearing underneath. Look at the oil and the horribleness. It really was in need of a good clean. And again, a fiber there. Oh, it's everywhere. Why? It's got more hair than I do. And there is the sliding surface with so much grease. It is insane. And old grease because it's so sticky. Try to get underneath. There you can see. Do you see the oil underneath there? And it's so oily, I'm not sure if Rodico is going to work. There we are, Rodico to the rescue. That is just insane. Oh my god. I almost say it every single stream. So all together now, there is no problem in a watch that can be solved by adding more oil or lubricant. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. I can write my name in it. Let's try it. There is no problem inside a watch that can be solved by adding more oil, not one, or grease. Well. That is just horrible. I'm convinced. Same here. Morgen. Ik zit even te streamen, maar ben bijna klaar. Look at this. You can write your name in it. So it is in need of a good clean, but it was being used. It was completely dry, and then they put all the oil in it in the hope it was going to work. Oh, and this is, oh, morgen. This is a really important part, and it can go missing inside the cleaning machine. It's the tiny brass, well, it's a guiding for the sweep second pinion. So, and a watch really does need that. Just look at that, it is horrible. Well, I'm going to clean it, make sure all the play is out, and then I'm sure the owner can enjoy this watch for many years. And that's it, a pre-recorded session early in the morning. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I love to read all the comments. Thank you so much. Sorry it was a pre-recorded session. I couldn't make it, well, by the time you see this. I really hope you enjoyed the beauty of this 1967 solid gold Omega Geneva, and hope to see you soon. If you like the stream, please subscribe and hit the like button. See ya. Bye bye.